Welcome once again to my channel. My name is Msim Mentarix, and in today's session, we want to basically talk about the welfare principle. The welfare principle is an important principle in the law relating to children, where we basically look at the rights and the obligations of the parents relating to children, even how courts should handle children. Basically, of course, we have to first understand the definition of a child. And when you look at Article 257 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995 as amended, it provides for the definition. And it defines a child as the person below the age of 18. Every person below the age of 18 is regarded under the law as a child. Therefore, every person that is above the age of 18, 19, if the person is 19 and 20 plus, then that person is not regarded as a child. Still, the same definition is adopted under Section 2 of Children Act. You look at it, it is a replica of what is provided for under 257. A child is a person below the age of 18. Whether 2 years, whether 3 years, whether 14, whether 15, whether 16, or whether 17, that person is a child under the law. And when we talk about the welfare principle, the welfare principle generally is to the effect that while determining matters relating to children, be it in courts, be it in administration of the estate of a child, be it anything relating to a child, that the welfare of a child, that the better upbringing of a child, that the status of and well-being of a child must be handled with due care, with utmost diligence, with ultimate care. That is what basically it means by welfare principle. And of course, for purposes of appreciating it very well, we have to first begin with the law provided for under the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. And when you look at Article 34 of the Constitution, it provides for the rights of children, and is to the effect that a child has the right to be cared, that a child has the right to attain education, that a child has the right to know, a child has the right to get information, a child is entitled to medication, a child is entitled to anything that is to the best interest of that child, anything that is to the best well-being, to the effect of promoting or providing the well-being of the child, is what it means by the welfare principle. Is actually what is provided for under the 1995 Constitution, particularly under Article 34. A child must not be exploited. A child must not be punished. A child must not be anything that is contrary to the welfare of the child is not welfare. Is not welfare principle. Okay? Look at the case of Nakagwa versus Chigundu. Nakagwa versus Chigundu brings it out very well that while determining matters relating to children, the welfare of the child or of the children must be taken into consideration, must be given the first option, must be the first priority. That is what it means by the welfare principle as to the jurisprudence in Nakagwa versus Chigundu. Still, when you look at the case of Asime versus Asime, still that case brings it out very well. That while determining matters relating to children, still you must take into account of the welfare of the child, or even any child, as long as that person is below the age of 18. Okay? And it is important that you also appreciate Article 31, clause 4 and 5, which provide that it is the duty of parents to ensure that these children are cared. It is the duty of the parents to provide for their children. It is the duty of parents to provide for their children. That is very important for us to appreciate. And of course, for purposes of appreciating it more, we have to go into the Children Act, and we look at Section 3, Section 4, and Section 5. But particularly, it is important that we appreciate Section 3 that provides for the guiding principles or welfare principles relating to children. That is very, very important. And it is better we appreciate it verbatim. You appreciate that Section 3, subsection 1 provides that I read verbatim. Let's appreciate this. That the welfare of the child shall be paramount consideration. Shall be of paramount consideration whenever the state, court, tribunal, local authority, or any person determines any question in respect to the upbringing of the child, the administration of the property of the child, or the application to any income of that child. That is basically what it means by the welfare principle. That when court is determining any question relating to the child, whether it is the tribunal, whether it is the local authority, whether it is any other person, as long as you're determining matters relating to the child, then the welfare of that child must be taken into consideration. Okay, we have many guidelines that guide the courts while determining matters relating to these children within or what we call under the welfare principle, and it is important that we appreciate them. Number one, we need to know that the physical or emotional status of a child or educational needs must be taken into consideration. Okay? If you feel like that any order that court is making as against or in favor of the child is against education, is against the physical status, is against the emotional status of a child, then that is not welfare principle. Thus, court must ensure that the order that is being made must be in favor of physical, educational, and emotional standard of the child. Okay, that is very, very important. And of course, we need to also know that the capacity of the parents to bring up the child, the capacity of the parent or guardian or even any other person that is intending to maybe take care of that child must be given ultimate consideration. Is this person in position to bring up the child, or it is just because he needs the child? Is this person in position to educate this child? Is this person in position to provide medical assistance or medication for this child in case this child falls sick? Is this person ready to provide good emotional security for this child? Those are things that also court must take into account. Okay, we need to also look at the age, sex of the child, because there is when you look at custody, for example, when one is obtaining custody, actually when someone is obtaining adoption, when is being adopted, when a child is being adopted, the law provides that a female applicant cannot adopt, or court may not allow that person to adopt a male child, or a male applicant may not be allowed to adopt a female child, except court may waive such provisions, but the law is to that effect. Therefore, when we are determining, as far as welfare principle is concerned, we must take into account of the sex and age. How old is this child? Okay, if the child is below, for example, below 5 years, it is very important that this child should stay with the mother. It is very important that this child should not be adopted or should remain with actually the mother, because it is the mother who has the full capacity to look after that kind of a child. I keep touching different ends. For example, in custody, maintenance, we shall give the further outlook of these different principles or these different court orders that are granted in favor or against the child, or actually in most cases they are given in favor of the child. Okay, court must also look at the background of this child. When we talk about the background, look at now the parents, how have these parents been treating this child? How has this child been living up to this time when someone is applying for certain order in favor of this child? Court must take into account of that order, of that aspect. Okay? Then court must also appreciate any other circumstance relating to the child. Court is being now given a discretion to appreciate or to consider any other circumstance as far as it is to the best interest of the child, because the welfare principle entails all of the best interest of the child. Okay, maybe something that we need to also look at is to look at what could be the effect of a certain order that is being that a court intends or any person intends to make in favor or against that child. Okay, what could be the effects? If it is custody, what could be the effects? If it is maintenance, what could be the effects? If it is adoption, be it national or be it international or foreign or non-citizen being adopting this child, what could be the effects? If it is a care order, what are the effects? Court must take into account of those different effects. How can it affect this child? Okay. Then of course the most important also, court or tribunal or an authority must take into account the wishes of the child. The child will come and tell you, me, I don't want to stay with this person. Yes, the child is right, because maybe there is a reason as to why this child is saying that he or she cannot stay with this person. Okay? So it is important that you look at the best wishes, the interests and the feelings of the child. Okay? Because it brings it out very well. How is this child feeling about maybe living with this person, or about being adopted, or about, for example, when you look at the custody order, a child will say, me, I don't want to stay with my dad, me, I want to stay with my mother. Yet it is now the dad that is actually applying for the order. So court must take into account of how a child feels about the order that is being made, or about any other kind of feeling of that child. I want to give you the different decisions that will bring out what exactly we want. One, you have to look at the decision of Re Mirembe Minor. This is the miscellaneous application number 449 of 2004. Look at it. It actually reaffirms that as far as court is determining, or in all matters relating to children, the welfare of children must be given ultimate consideration. Still look at the case of Appeal Grace. Still, that is a High Court Civil suit number 2 of 2014. Look at that case. It brings it out very, very well. Still, when you look at the decision in the matter of Nakesa Deborah, that case also brings it out very well. All these cases relate to matters relating to children. Okay? You can also look at the matter of Ranthomio Damian. The matter of Ranthomio Damian. It is a case of 2015. You can look at it, and it will also shed more light on what it means. You can still look at the case of Tumusime Infant. It is the family cause number 297 of 2013. In that case, court stated it very well. court stated it very well, that while determining matters relating to children, court must ensure that the welfare of the child is given ultimate consideration, that the upbringing of the child should be, that the court order should be in the best interest of the child. Okay? You can still look at the case of Atwirwe Pauline Muhumuza. It is a case of 2009. All these cases they all provide for the welfare principle. Okay? And away from that, we need to also have a recap. We talked about the rights of children under the 1995 Constitution, but still, the Children Act provides for the rights of children. When you look at Section 4, it also provides for the rights. Look at it. Right to education, right to be cared, right to information, right to be registered after birth, right to get a name and nationality, right to safety, privacy. Mention all the rights that are entitled to children. They are further provided for under under Section 4 of Children Act. Okay? Read cases of Nakagwa versus Chigundu, but basically the case of Nakagwa versus Chigundu was about custody, but still it talks about the welfare principle. That case is one of the Rocas Clusters cases to that effect. Okay? So maybe one more thing that you need to understand as far as welfare of children is concerned, rather the welfare principle, you need to know that you cannot discuss any order. For example, in an exam, you cannot discuss any order, be it custody, be it care order, be it maintenance, be it any court order, without discussing the welfare principle. Welfare principle is the starting point of all the court orders. Therefore, it cross-cuts on all orders. If you are discussing custody, still you must discuss the welfare, because the custody order is granted on the basis of the welfare principle. If you're discussing adoption, you must discuss it in accordance with the welfare principle, because court cannot grant adoption without taking into account of the welfare of the child. Therefore, please take note, when you're discussing the orders, make sure you begin with the welfare principle, because this is the starting point. It gives you the general outlook. It gives you the general rule of how you will take on the other orders. Okay, that is very, very important. Otherwise, we have more other videos relating to these orders: custody, maintenance, adoption, parentage, declaration of parentage, care order. Check out all those videos. Maybe some may not be there as of now, but they are yet to be uploaded. Check it out. Check out all these videos and appreciate the role relating to children. Otherwise, the channel has many other videos relating to all other legal principles, all other laws, all other course units. Check out and watch and appreciate. Otherwise, I also want to again encourage you to subscribe, share with friends, comment where necessary. Of course, the purpose of commenting is to ensure that we know where you need clarifications, so that we know maybe you've not appreciated the case, maybe you need a principle in the case. When you comment, we get to understand, or I get to understand that actually here and there you need clarification. Or still, you can use my WhatsApp number and send me a message. I will get back to you and actually I'm at your service. Otherwise, thank you so much. God bless you.